for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, add it up.
I'm not an integrator, just somebody like you who likes tech. Still on a learning journey. I just want to share what I've chosen and why I've chosen it to help someone, and probably learn from you guys as well, the best way I could have done it or what I can do to improve the system. So to start off with, we're going to talk about my racks. I have two 42RU racks that are going to be going into the house. So we're currently building a house. It's almost complete. This first rack that we're going to talk about today is the termination rack. So basically, all the wires, the cabling infrastructure from the house will come and terminate into this rack. So all your speakers, all your Ethernet drops, all your motion sensors, they'll come into here. And from here, it'll connect onto the other rack that will have the amplifiers, the home automation stuff. So we'll go through this in detail, the first rack, the termination rack, and then we'll go from there. So here's just a quick look of the termination rack. We're going to go in detail as to what each part is. At the top here is an AC infinity fan. It's got a top exhaust. So this is for cooling of the rack. So basically all the cool air will come from the bottom, and then as the components heat up, all the hot air will go up, and this will aid in pushing the air out through the top, through the vents that are at the top. In the room where this rack is going, there's an extraction fan, so that will kick on at a certain temperature. Maybe I'll set it to 24 degrees, and then it will exhaust all the air out from the room, keeping it nice and cool. And the second hue is just a blank plate, just to help out with spacing of the equipment, helping with cooling as well. The third part here is my router, which is the UDM Pro from Unify. It's got obviously a hard drive, and it's got 8-port switch, and then we have the internet coming into here, and then we have fiber going down to a 48-port switch. Underneath that, we have another blank plate. Then this is UNVR, which is the recorder for all my cameras. It's got 4 bays and 4 hard drives to put in there. Underneath that, we also have another blank plate. Then underneath that, we have a 24-port pass-through patch panel, which connects to a 48-port Unify PoE switch, so power over Ethernet. This is to power up all the Wi-Fi, cameras, touchscreens, everything in the house that requires PoE power. And then we have another 24-port pass-through, another 24-port pass-through. Then this is an older PoE switch, 16. Hopefully one day I'll get to replace this with another 48 PoE switch, so that all the Ethernet drops in the house are live. At the moment, only a select few. There's quite a few left over that are not going to be live when we move in. And then these cables on the side, if you can see, they're just SFP, so fiber to get 10 gig uplink. Then underneath that, in this spot here, we have just rack mount for a computer screen. So the purpose of this computer is going to be to see to view all the cameras, and also have a computer in the back, just in case I need to access anything. I could just log into that computer and then just access anything to fix. Got a shelf. Close that. That's where the keyboard and stuff will sit. The next part is part of the Control 4 system. I've chosen Control 4 as my home automation. We'll get into why I chose that in a little bit, I guess, when we walk through the other rack. But these three components are in the termination rack because these are called I/O expanders. So the I/O expanders basically are where my motion sensors are gonna connect to. We've got 24 motion sensors throughout the house. So each has 8 IOs basically in and outputs, which will go to those motion sensors and power up the motion sensors. And then underneath that, have another blank plate and then a brush plate. So the purpose of this brush plate is all the cabling for the speaker. So these are speaker connectors. I have 17 audio zones in the house, and then also have a 7.1.4 home theater. So all those speakers throughout the house will connect to this, and then from the other rack that has the amplifiers, the cables will come out and will connect to this. I'll show you all those amplifiers and all when we go over through the other rack. And underneath that is another brush plate. So the top cables will come out and connect, similar to this, where you just pull it out and it's just a speaker. And it has 4 connectors, so a left and a right speaker per each. And underneath that, I've got 4 subwoofers in the house that are going to connect to these, and then 4 in the theater that are going to connect to these RCA inputs. And then these silver ones here are Cat 6A. I've wired up quite a few, but I only have 3 TVs, which we're going to use a video matrix to distribute the TVs. So we'll go through that when we go through the other rack, but basically I'm just going to use 3 of these, but just wired some just for future expansion. Next up is just a drawer for remotes and stuff like that, and then there's a blank plate at the bottom for future. There you go. We've discussed the fast rack, the termination rack. Hope you enjoy the video. As a bonus, I'm going to show you the room where this is going to go, and I'm going to show you the mess of cables that are going to have to come in here. Enjoy.
I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up,